Hi there, everybody. Good afternoon. Happiest of Saturdays. If you are watching on any other day, happy days to you. Welcome to the Mrs. Best Reviews channel. I am Mrs. Best. We are here to do our weekly recap of the new reality show, Debs House, which does air on wetv. So I appreciate everybody for being here, whether you're watching now while we're live or if you're watching the live replay. It all supports the channel, and I really do appreciate each and every single one of you. Anywho, you guys, for this recap, James is not going to be with us. He's handling some things with family. They did have a death in the family, so we offer condolences to the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel. He should be back next week, but if you guys are interested in subscribing to his channel or anything like that, as always, the link to his channel is in the description of this video. So, without further ado, let's jump into the foolery that was Debs House this episode. I didn't mind it. I feel like the first episode was a little more interesting, the first two, but I like that they're finally finding their footing. This is competition reality, so I expect to see them operate in a way that reminds me of that. We haven't had no ceremonies. People just been sent home for misbehaving. So in the previous episode, we saw Philadelphia natives, both female rappers from Philly, Hot Chalk and Rocky, get into it. Essentially, for those who do not know what happened, Hot Chalk basically seems like the type who show love to Rocky because they was both doing it in Philly. And it looks like she wanted to work with Rocky and do something big for the city. Rocky, for whatever reason, was low-key difficult. But they have made peace together. They're now getting along. Rocky actually apologized to Hot Chalk, which I could really respect. Like, I'm not from Philly, but I understand the sense of community and wanting to put on for your city. As y'all know, everything that me and Oso do, we shout out Bay Area. Me and Oso Best are both from Oakland, so we shout out the town. You want to have, synergy and togetherness when possible with other artists from your same town, especially when you're both known. So for that reason, I am happy that these young ladies have made up, and I respect Rocky for apologizing. That made her even more real than she already was. And they're both some of my favorites on this show, so I was just happy to see them get along. Let me know how you guys felt about that. Be sure to leave a comment or all of that. I will be responding to comments and all of that, even when we're no longer live. So don't be afraid to comment, even if it's different from what I think. Moving on, the challenge for this week's episode is involving branding. Obviously, the episode was titled Brand Yourself. And the ladies basically are going to go meet Miss Deb in the fashion district of New York City. So they meet with legendary fashion icons. One of them was Willie Esco, who is responsible for things within the Machiavelli brand and pretty much a lot of popular clothing in terms of urban clothing and things of that nature. And they're going to help them with branding. Now, I may be alone in this, but I was a little thrown by the fact that they called it Brand Yourself, but then had them, make clothes together. How can they brand themselves when they're working in teams? I think they kind of dropped the ball with that. But they break the ladies up. We have 8 ladies left, so they break it into 2 teams of 4. The first team is Queen Izzy, Hot Chalk, Electra, and Who Camille, and they are assigned Baklar, I may be saying it incorrectly, footwear. And they really do okay as a team. They struggle a little bit to figure out who's going to sketch, just because it don't seem like they have any drawers or anything on that team. But it looks like everything goes well. They work together. It's just Electra was commenting who Camille is a little bit of a control freak, which I wouldn't say a control freak. I think that in this situation, who Camille was just one of the few who actually stepped up. None of them knew what they were doing on this specific team, but who Camille was the one that kind of stepped up, gave order, and led, which I didn't see anything wrong with. Her ideas was crazy though, but I didn't see anything wrong with it. So the second team, which is Da Vinci, I can't pronounce this stuff, y'all. So apologies to me. I am a girl who's in leggings, hoodies, and Mr. Best clothes often. It's very rare that I put on some clothes. I'm just keeping it real. But the second team was Rocky, Dank, Honeybee, and Big Molly. And they are assigned to make leather jackets. And it seems like everything is okay. Rocky was very vocal. She's very into fashion. I don't know why when they said Rocky's into fashion, they showed her in some shorts with her ass out. But, I'm sure they had other options. We can tell she's into fashion. Now we see Willie Esco come in. and he has a stylist, and he wants the team to redesign a 40-year-old shoe. This is the first team with Queen Izzy, Hot Chocolate Electra, and Who Camille. So he wants them to redesign a 40-year-old shoe, and they are ready to do this. Now the other team gets Bartholomew, so B Gold he goes by. He won the show. The Hype, he's a designer. He sews and things like that, though I wasn't impressed with his outfit. Sorry, not sorry. He's brought in to help the team that involves Dank, Rocky, Honeybee, and Big Molly. Now, Izzy, Hot Chocolate, Electra, and Camille, they do a great job when they present what they've created to the judges and Miss Deb. And here's where I got annoyed, because Miss Deb started crying. And this is where Miss Deb gets on my damn nerves sometimes, because it's like, why are you crying? You don't know these girls and you're trying to act like you care. But in my opinion, she's done a lot of tearing these girls down, in my personal opinion, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. But Miss Deb breaks down. They did do a very good job with the shoe design. You could tell they worked together, and it just came across. There was a lot of synergy there. It worked. Now, Willie Esco asked who was the best and worst in the group. And Queen Izzy does not fall for it, because I was like, this is probably a test because you want to look unified. And Queen Izzy doesn't fall for it. And she says that she doesn't think that anybody did more or less work than the next, which I agree. With this specific team, I felt like they did genuinely work together. Everybody put in something, whether it was an idea, work, effort. They worked together beautifully. So congrats to those ladies. Now, the second group comes in, and they did not do as well with their presentation. And I'm going to get into why. Now, they had B Gold helping them, who was the winner of the show, The Hype. He's supposed to be a fashion person there to help the team enhance their idea. The problem I had is that he wasn't really leading. He wasn't really helpful. He was, as Rocky explained during that time, kind of just shooting down the girl's idea. So in my opinion, they didn't do well because of B Gold. And it's like, well, they're not going to step on, a professional who's there to help them. They're not going to do that. Hi, Jojo, aka Mr. Also Best. Thank you for being here. We will be actually watching a music video from Also Best at the end of this live. This will be a very fast live. We're actually almost done already. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. But we will be watching a music video to Also Best's newest single, Modus Operandi, which apparently has to do with how things get done and what you got going on. So I'm glad he made it here. But anywho, y'all, so B Gold was really the problem with these ladies. He impacted their ability to get along. These ladies are actually taking the opportunity serious. And he just impacted their ability to vibe together and make something happen. So, when they present their presentation for the jacket that they were supposed to come up with, everybody in the group has something different. So they're supposed to come up with jackets, which everyone in the group essentially comes up with something. And then you have Big Molly, who had a hat, a bucket hat at that she came up with. Not everybody likes bucket hats. They're really annoying to me personally. That's like, especially with men, that's like, luckily I don't have to date, but like if I were single and a man came up to me trying to talk in a bucket hat, for me, I just wouldn't see that for us. We would not go far at all. Personal preference, y'all. But this is what happens. They present a bunch of different ideas, which from a business perspective is good, because it's like the judges can see like, okay, we could sell this hat, or we could sell this jacket. We could sell a variety of things, but they just did not look like they worked together. And I personally think it was B Gold's fault, because he tore down every idea that they had. They were okay with Rocky leading. They were working together. And then this Gold guy comes in, and you could tell that their confidence kind of messed up, and he threw off the vibe. And I'm not saying that makes him a bad creator or anything like that. Some people just work better independently. Also Best, who was here, is an artist who, in my opinion, works better independently. Some people are that way, and nothing is wrong with that. So they struggled. And, Rocky was a little aggressive too, because they were asking for the brand that they were representing. Willie Esco was like, this brand, how are you going to overcome the fur thing? Because, PETA, especially in New York, PETA, they're annoying as hell. I'm sorry. And I love animals. I really do. I am an animal lover through and through, y'all. But PETA be on my nerves too sometimes, But he had a point. if you're going to come up with a brand, you have to think about who's going to like you, who's not going to like you, who's going to provide you with objectives that you need to work towards overcoming. And when you have fur, PETA is one that is live and well. So the jacket did have a removable option, which Rocky could have just said you have the option to remove the fur, or they should have gave them the option to purchase pieces of the jacket separately or something. There's a lot that they could have done to overcome the fur thing. But Rocky gonna say, whoever don't want to buy it just ain't gonna buy it. Girl, you the man is like, people don't want to buy faux fur. The people who are in this, who can afford this type of clothing, they want real fur, real chinchilla, if that's the case, which is true. But then you also, when offering that, have to deal with PETA. So, I didn't feel like this was the best challenge as a whole for these ladies as, independent rappers and artists to figure stuff out. A lot of them have done branding right or well enough to even be noticed to be on this show and to be noticed by mogul and notable managers such as Miss Deb. That's just my personal opinion. So this was a little obnoxious. It's almost like she's trying to strip them down to nothing and build them back up. But I kind of look at her management style as a red flag, separate from the fact that everybody she's managed don't want nothing to do with her outside of her son no more. I'm just saying. But allegedly, because I ain't got time for nobody coming for me on this channel. But yeah, I didn't understand it. But Dank ends up winning what we get introduced to in this episode for the first time, the golden mic. And the golden mic is basically a mic that Miss Deb will choose to give to one person who is competing that will make them safe from elimination. So the team that won was the team Beclaire, which was the team that worked on the footwear. So they were all safe. And that was the team involving Queen Izzy, Who Camille, Hot Chalk, and Electra. So they did win, and I felt like they did deserve to win. And I kind of had a feeling that Dank's team was going to lose when she got the mic, because it's like, why you need the golden mic if, you safe. So the other team did not win. And the young lady who was sent home from the other team was Big Molly. Big Molly is probably one of the artists on this show that were the most successful. She has music with Sexy Red. She has performed on tour with DaBaby. She has penetrated the industry to some extent and has big name features. But, just because you have big name features doesn't make you a big name yourself. I know a lot of people, especially doing music reviews on my channel, that have big name features by multiple artists, whether it be them making beats or them rapping. I know plenty of artists that have big name features, from Mozzie to Drake to artists bigger and smaller. And they are all still in the same place. So just because you have been able to go on tour with the biggest names of them all, and just because you're able to get a feature with somebody who has a big name, does not mean that you yourself have made it. Now, Miss Deb gives this speech to Big Molly about why she eliminated her, when, in my opinion, Miss Deb could have just simply said to Big Molly, like, I'm eliminating you because you did the least best in this competition. You contributed the least. You did not give us what we wanted. We asked for a jacket. You gave us a hat. You just did not listen. And I don't know if you're brandable if you don't listen. That's all Miss Deb had to say. But instead, she says that Big Molly is resistant to a lot of things, and that she already has a brand in the team, and that she doesn't see the point in her being there if she's already made it. She says that you can't shine before you're a star, or something crazy she said like that. She pretty much ripped Big Molly to shreds, which I didn't feel was appropriate. She didn't have to say too much. She didn't have to do that. Who the hell are you to fault this girl for having a team? You're in management. You know that your job as their manager, whoever wins the competition, will be to build them a team. So either you just didn't want to let her win because you don't want to deal with someone who already has a team, because you knew that before she came on this show, and you could have gave the spot to somebody else if that was really the case. Or you could have just kept it real and been like, today just was not your day. It's a competition reality show. Somebody who's talented and deserves to win is going to lose. So I just wish Deb would have kept it a little more real with how she did it. I didn't like how she ripped her to shreds. I didn't like that at all. But I do at the same time also agree that Big Molly was the one who should have went home. I just did not agree with the parting words that Deb gave. You cannot fault that girl for having a team. She handling the little business that she got so that she continued to get more. But I felt like Deb also expected Big Molly to go off, and Big Molly just, calmly thanked her for her opportunity, spit her little verse, which I felt was underwhelming. And this is why I say, just because you have a big name feature don't mean nothing. Because if I see a rapper who's a female who got a feature from Sexy Red compared to the rapper who has a female from Doja Cat or Chica, I'm going to respect the one who got the feature from Doja Cat or Chica, because I know they can actually write. They can actually rap. Sexy Red's fun and stuff, but when we think of it from like a lyrical standpoint, which is what Miss Deb is going for, it's like, But that's pretty much it, you guys, for this recap of Deb's house. Not too much happened. I know this is a faster recap, but we get through things faster sometimes alone. James will be back next week, so we will have good discussion and things like that we'll be going over. Be sure to subscribe to his channel for those that watch recaps that me and James do together. Announcements to everybody on the channel. Starting on Tuesday, we will be recapping Basketball Wives LA on every single Tuesday. I'm very excited. The show is back. There's going to be some slight class change-ups. We'll see what it does, but I will be recapping that as always. We also have a new show that we will be recapping on James's channel, the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel, Family Empire Houston. I believe it comes on wetv. We will be recapping that show on Saturdays with Deb's house, so look out for that. We also will be having some late recaps this upcoming week. On Monday, we'll be going over Love and Marriage Huntsville, as well as Family Empire Houston. Housewives of New Jersey will likely be on Sunday to make room for James's channels. But other than that, I appreciate everybody for watching. We're going to end this live by watching a music video from Oh So Best, aka my husband and partner, who helps with this channel. This is his music video to his latest single, Modus Operandi. The video was directed by Not So Cool Films, and the song features California artist Mo Band. So I'm gonna leave you guys with this. We will be back for more recaps in just a day or two, and I'll have another music reaction dropping on Sunday. Love and light to all of you, and I'll see you on the next one. Like the video. Thank you for watching.
I'm the dopest, bro. Only suckers and clowns can't see it. You know what I'm saying? I'm above. I'm beyond what they think. You go back and listen to all my old stuff. You listen to my new slaps right now. Rule of thumb, you understand? I'm the epitome of mom.
I would be that hang with a little girl toe. Fuck the corporation, not a slave, no toe. We went to school together, that don't mean that you know me. Please don't call me brother, I am not your home. Just like the BB Hills, all your niggas have phone. As real as they come, when I die, don't clone. My modus operandi is to keep it a buck. I need baby over here, would you not give a fuck? Shady hated where I met her, gave her dick, that's what I fed her. More the hood, the more the better. True, if she get the upper hand with the brick in her hand, then I think I'm gonna let her. Shoot, if you rap in a hood, throw your shit up like you got something to prove. I got my index damn big into the sky. Funk town till I try you fools.
Modus operandi, this is just how we do things. How we do things. Modus operandi, this is just how we do things. How we do it in the hood. Modus operandi, this is just how we do things. How we do things. Modus operandi, this is just how we do things. Oh no.
Pillow talking on the net, finna get smoked. Why you flexing 20s, that is not choke. I'm a O-so, posted up in the O. I'm in the lane, touchdown with like 20 bows. 5% on the whip, birdie flip bricks. Running up a bag so I never trip. And you broke, so you steady hating like a bitch. And they fucking with a kid, money coming quick. They ain't get no money on my ops hoes. How you live at home and you still broke? Couple sticks in the whip, so I ride slow. I'm in the bitty smoking blunts till my eyes close. Trap phone buzzing like a housefly. You You not in the streets, you a housewife. If I was broke too, then I would hate my life. You was not my brother, bitch, I know you won't slide.
Modus operandi, this is just how we do things. How we do things. Modus operandi, this is just how we do things. How we do it in the hood. Modus operandi, this is just how we do things. How we do things. Modus operandi, this is just how we do things. Oh, no.